No data analytics experience? No problem. You can still get real resume worthy experience inside the job that you already have. If you touch spreadsheets, text files, reports, forms, trackers inside your role, you're sitting on some untapped data gold. The problem is most people don't see it. They keep looking outside of their company for their first project when their biggest opportunities lie right underneath their nose. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to turn the work that you're already doing into real data analyst experience, how to use AI tools like ChatGPT to scope, build, and explain projects like a pro, and how to turn everyday work into portfolio bullets that actually get attention so that you can stop waiting for experience and start earning it today. I'm Jeff, and I became a data analyst over 13 years ago before I had a formal title, certification, or even a portfolio. Now, I'm a business analyst consultant at a Fortune 5 company, and I've helped a lot of people get hired and been part of the hiring process, so I know what it takes to stand out. Also, I'm on a mission to help 10,000 people break into data analytics. So if that's your goal, I want one of them to be you. So subscribe today because I'm helping release weekly content to help you get to that goal. Today is part 2 of step E in my Epic launch system, which is the E stands for earn experience. This is a step-by-step roadmap to go from learning data to landing a job. In part 1, we showed you how to get your first opportunity through warm or cold outreach, and why that's critical, because most entry-level data roles ask for 1 to 3 years of experience, even though they say they're entry level. Now in part 2, what we're going to be doing is I'll show you exactly what to do next, whether you're helping a business from outreach or you're getting the experience inside your job. You're going to learn how to run a requirements meeting even as a beginner, uncover real business problems that you can solve with data, and then you're going to use AI to help you build the solutions for those problems, even if you haven't started learning anything yet. So in step E, you're going to fit into 2 general categories. First one is going to be you're in a day job with access to data, but you don't know how to apply what you're learning or what you haven't learned yet. 2, you landed a volunteer project and you want to do a great job, even though you haven't started learning or you just started learning. And then 3 is the people who haven't taken action. So watch the first video and take action so that we can start getting you to this step. So no matter which role you are in right now, your next move is going to be the same. Don't just jump into creating solutions. Don't just create dashboards or impress with charts. Your first job is to understand the problem. Your first move is to understand the business problem, why it's a pain point. This means running what we call a requirements meeting or gathering session. Now, don't let that term scare you, whether it's an actual formal meeting with stakeholders or it's a meeting with a business owner or a casual conversation with your manager or teammate where you're helping them, or with yourself, you're just going to block out that time, audit your own tasks or their tasks. The process is generally going to be the same. You're going to step into this analyst mode and you're going to start asking yourself, what are the team and the business's goals? What are the current bottlenecks, pain points, manual processes that are getting in the way? What data exists? What are they using? Where does it live? Who touches it? What are the repetitive tasks, reports, processes that could be automated or improved? This is how you uncover your first project. And for me personally, as a consultant, this is exactly how I approach the first step of any process improvement project, where I'm brought onto a project to see if we can automate or improve the process. A team will come to us with a business need that they want help solving, usually something that they think that we could automate or build a tool for. Then we'll hop on this either a discovery meeting or just an initial meeting just to talk things out, and then we'll unpack what they generally want. That's why your job in that first conversation is to zoom out and understand the end goal. Walk through the current process, then use your skills and AI to figure out what's possible. Sometimes you can't fully automate the process, but you can still create dashboards, find helpful metrics, or build something that makes things faster and makes things easier in any parts of the process. Even just alleviating some of the manual work to speed up their process will be helpful. Even if you're just getting started, saving time on any part of that tedious manual work is still a real win. You're building trust, showing value, and earning experience that counts. Here's a prompt that you can use on how to turn your job into a data project. So this is solo requirements meeting for when you're meeting with yourself. Use this when you're trying to identify your own internal project, especially when you're working in a non-analytics role and you want to turn your everyday work into portfolio pieces or resume bullets. So the prompt is going to be, help me turn my work tasks into a beginner data project. I'm working in a, insert your role, whatever it is, customer support rep, admin assistant, marketing coordinator, operation associate, whatever it is, put it there. And I'm trying to apply data analytics to my current job so I can gain real world experience. I want to run a solo requirements meeting with myself to figure out what I can turn into a beginner data project. Please help me. First bullet, identify 5 to 7 smart beginner friendly questions I can ask myself to uncover bottlenecks, repetitive tasks, or messy reports that I work with. Help me think through what data I touch or could start collecting. List 5 to 7 potential beginner projects that I could do based on my role, and then show me how to frame each project using the CAT method, which is context, action, and translation, so that I can see the business impact. I want to end this process with 1 to 2 real project ideas that I can start right away, a clear problem to solve, and what data or tools that I'll need, and a way to explain the value clearly on my resume. Now, let's say that you got an opportunity from outreach, from cold or warm outreach, like we covered in the previous video, or you're taking the initiative in your current job and you have to pitch to stakeholders. You have to pitch to your manager, or you're working with your manager, you're working with another department, and they love the idea of process improvement and you being able to apply your new data analytics skills. Again, the goal is just to get enough information to identify one solid beginner friendly project that you can build in the next 1 to 2 weeks or longer, depending on how long your time frame is, that has real business impact that they want you to work on. So here is an advanced prompt to you that you can use. Act as a senior data analyst and analytics mentor who specializes in coaching entry-level analysts on real-world business consulting projects. I'm prepping for my first meeting with a small business owner who agreed to let me volunteer my beginner data skills to help them improve their operations. The client owns a, and then insert their industry, and then as much information about their businesses and processes that you can do before the meeting and that you can research. So search online, do as much information as you can to understand their business. Next, I want to lead this meeting like a true analyst. Even though I'm new, please help me with the requirements gathering. For one is generate 5 to 7 clear beginner friendly questions that I can ask to understand their overall business goals, daily operations, workflows, and common challenges or pain points. 2, for each question, include a follow-up one to go deeper and make the business owner feel heard and supported. 3, provide questions that help me uncover what data they currently track and why, what tools and systems they use, Excel, point of service, Google Sheets, CRMs, booking platforms, where the data lives, Google Drive, hard copies, spreadsheets, NAS drives, their local computers, and how often the data is updated, and whether I can access a sample copy to work with. Next, let's focus on project scoping and communication. 1, suggest how I can explain what I'll do with the data, why their input matters, and how I'll protect their privacy and what kind of deliverable they can expect. Dashboard, cleaner reports, new lightweight tool that's built in Excel. And then beginner project ideas is going to be the last part. Based on their business type, give me 2 to 3 simple but valuable potential beginner projects that I could offer, such as automating a manual report, building a simple dashboard, analyze booking or sales trends. And then 2, for each idea, provide a simple CAT resume bullet, context, action, and translation to business value so I can clearly articulate what this would look like as a real achievement. So I mentioned CAT a few times. CAT is my own personal method for creating resume bullets. We'll dive deeper into CAT and how to apply it on a resume. But basically, it's how do I give enough context so that somebody random, like from on the street or the hiring manager, understands how technical it is, how hard it is, how important, and has the right background information to know my action that I took, and then I translate it to real business impact. Without the context, these two will not seem as important depending on what it is. And I fixed so many resumes of my friends and friends of friends who send me all of their resumes because people just don't give enough context. I'll read it and I'll be like, I don't understand what this is. I know it's important. I can tell it's important, but somebody outside of our department will have no idea that this is a huge deal because either how long it took, the problem that we were facing, and the immense pressure to like handle it within a few hours because it would cost millions of dollars if we messed up. Those are all things that you need to shape around it because later on we're gonna go into how to tell stories using this. Now ChatGPT is gonna give you your output, give you potential project ideas, and then the questions asked. Now you just need to go into the meeting, gather all of the things that ChatGPT gave you, print it out. Go into this meeting prepared. If it's an online meeting, record the meeting. I do this all the time with my current meetings because there's oftentimes there are things that I miss. And when I rewatch it, because I'm trying to understand the context and like the parameters and the criteria that I have to build it in, I didn't understand that previously. Now I get it. You'll work through this meeting, and then now from that meeting is if you're allowed to. So at some enterprises, you won't be able to get the transcript, but other places you'll be able to get the transcript. Get the transcript, and then place that transcript into ChatGPT. Now you put in like, here is the meeting, and here's what we discussed. What are the business problems that I could potentially tackle today? And then you'll be able to work with ChatGPT or whatever AI chatbot and tool that you're using to be able to figure out what your best project is going to be. Now, what comes after this, and probably what you're thinking as well, is how do I build this? I didn't learn any data analytics yet. I just hosted a meeting and asked questions, but what do I do now? I have no idea. You might have to have a follow-up meeting with that business owner. If you're doing this for yourself, you can just decide and then go along your way. Then once you finalize everything, you can use this prompt, this advanced prompt, to help build it even when you haven't learned any data analytics yet. Act as a senior data analyst, analytics instructor, and a mentor who is coaching a beginner level analyst through their first real world data project, where they're helping a small business or an internal team solve a real business problem. I've selected a beginner-friendly project idea based on recent requirement conversation, and the problem I'm helping with is, then you enter in the problem that you're entering. You can have it so that ChatGPT makes it and refines that problem so it's easier for ChatGPT to understand the full context of everything that it needs, but you're gonna put it here. After that, underneath, you're gonna put, I'm still learning, but I wanna build something useful and learn deeply in the process. Please guide me like a motivated beginner who learns best by doing, but still needs teaching and the structure along the way. For each step in the build, include first the tool to use. Tell me which beginner-friendly tool you recommend: Excel, Power BI, Google Sheets, ChatGPT, Python, etc. And then why. Two, what to do. Describe the action clearly and simply so I can just follow along with zero confusion. Three, why it matters. Help me understand how this step fits into the overall goal and project impact. Four, what to watch out for. Explain any common beginner mistakes to avoid, things that often break, logic traps to be aware of. Five, tips or shortcuts. Share best practices, time savers, or ways to simplify the work while keeping it valuable. And then six, example support. Use simple examples, formulas, screenshots, visuals, or dummy data whenever it helps illustrate the step that we're learning. And then final deliverable at the end, summarize what the final deliverable will be in plain English and how I can present it back to the business owner or my manager with confidence. If possible, also suggest how this could be phrased as a CAT style resume bullet, context, action, translation to the impact, especially with time or money saved or earned. And then just treat ChatGPT or whatever LLM you're using as your mentor and just talk to them normally as you start building out. If you don't know how to get started, I don't know how to you build in Python, please explain to me my first step because I'm really confused. They'll tell you how to download Python, which software to use when you're coding in Python, and then they'll walk you through each step. So if you're ever confused, just tell them, I'm confused, please break it down. I don't know where to start. I'm stuck here. And then you'll be able to build out. I built out so many projects just doing that. That's why I genuinely believe this is all that you need to get started now. So if you're stuck behind access walls, permissions, don't ask to learn. Start building something small that helps and then pitch that to see if you can move on to the next step. when your ask is attached to a business goal, it's 10 times easier to get your boss to say yes and get upper management to buy in so that you can unlock the tools that you need to grow. Now that you learned how to earn real experience even without the title, your next move is just important. We need to turn that experience into proof. In the next video, I'm going to walk through step P, which is plan your portfolio, and show you how to build a data portfolio that actually helps you stand out in the job market today. So don't miss it. Hit that subscribe button. And if you haven't already, I'll see you in the next step of the Epic Launch System. Until then, query responsibly, and you can watch this next video